What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 15 of Park to Prem here with Lincoln City. Today we are starting our 6th season as a manager. Can you? 6 seasons already? That is crazy. Of course, along the way, we've managed 2 clubs now. There were a few questions after last episode about what are the plans here at Lincoln. And truth be told, I feel like this year is about trying to get into the playoffs at Lincoln City. And then we evaluate what jobs come up, what jobs we can possibly apply for. But for now, I feel like this season at the very least is a really good opportunity to take a squad that was already really good and take it up a level. And I think we have taken it up a level with the transfer business we've done, albeit there's not actually been that much. Although, familiar face, if you've watched any of the streams last year with Monopoly, yeah, you might recognise Teddy Jenks, who we will come on to shortly, but not before we talk about the outs. And there's one out that there may be a rebellion about. Marky Cooper. The man, the myth, the legend. Now a Brentford player. We've sold him for 1.4 million, everyone. I'm going to be honest. If you were to look at his actual attributes and his potential, you might say it's not that high. Given what he offered us in the 18 months he was at the club, the fact that we've got 1.4 million for him, I'm pretty content with, to be honest. So, yes, a load of money raised. I'm sorry, Mark Cooper. Much like Sam York, I'm sure we'll keep an eye on his career as it pans out, and I have no doubt he will pop up at some time in the future. You'll notice, though, he was not the only sale. We made a few other significant ones, making some nice money for players who I wasn't really sure where they fitted into the team this year. The first of those was Taylor Richards. He's gone to Southend, a player who we signed during our first season at Lincoln City. Did okay, but last year kind of fell down the pecking order, didn't contribute a great deal. To get £300,000 in was just too much to refuse. And another player who left for £300,000 is Kai Harris. Now, this guy is interesting. We signed him from Seven Druids, definitely not how you say it. They're a Welsh team. He's a good player. We got him because he was on an amateur deal for free. Didn't play for us last year, and then Pompey came in. They've paid £300,000, but with 50% of any profit they make off the next sale going to us. Now, this guy at 19 could be insane, but he's inconsistent, and his height and his lack of jumping reach mean that he's never really going to be a centre-back. And as far as centre-mids go, he just doesn't really wow me. He's not really doing it for me, everyone. So in the end, I decided that rather than hold on to this player who I wasn't really sure where I would even play him, wasn't sure if he'd truly develop or if he'd ever feature in the first team, I'd cash in on him. As soon as the bid came in, a bit of thought went into it, but he was out the door. £300,000 again. And the last of the players who left for in excess of £100,000 is Forster Kasky, who we have sold to Ebbsfleet. This guy last year was on loan at Notts County, was on excessive wages, was valued very, very highly, to be fair. And, you can see he had a successful loan spell. We sold him to League 2 Ebbsfleet for £225,000. For a player we picked up on a freebie, it feels like relatively smart business. Anyway, a few other players left us. These are actually, for the most part, players who were here when we took over the club. The first is James Brown. He has gone to Southend. Bajrami has also left the club. I was told how to say this guy's name. It's not Bajrami. I think it's Bahrami. I might be wrong, though, so I apologise either way. But he's not here anymore, so we're not going to have to say his name too much more. He has gone to Oxford City for £44,000. We've made profit, everyone, which for a player who made 4 appearances last year feels like a small little win in my eyes. Ben Jackson also left us to go to Fleetwood. He was very much a squad player who, we never really had to call upon as a backup left-back. And then a couple of other players left us. Ruffin has gone out on loan again, and Denton has gone out on loan. A young player who, I'm going to be honest, I don't think will ever play in the first team, but if he does, he was on loan at Concord this year. So yes, £2.4 million made in sales, so you might expect me to have spent big, but the truth be told, I haven't, and in fact, for the first time in a very long time, I've got an affiliate in Nottingham Forest, which actually is really useful. Sometimes with affiliates, their best players, the players who would actually suit your team, they don't want to loan to you, or those players don't want to join you. This year at Nottingham Forest, we've kind of hit a sweet spot. Going into League One, they're a Premier League club. Their youngsters are willing to take the step down to come to us, and they also offer us a little bit in the squad that we don't already have. We'll talk about the 4 loans in a second, but first, a couple of freebies that we picked up. Marcus McGuane has joined us. He is a Republic of Ireland I was going to say international. He's never played for the national team. Last year he was playing for Barnsley in the Championship. You can see they signed him for 140k from, incidentally, Nottingham Forest. He has previously played for Barcelona and for Arsenal, so high calibre. Really like this guy in terms of as a squad player, can play pretty much every position except striker and goalkeeper, which is kind of nice to have on the bench. For us, I see him being a really good, backup left-back option, even if he is right-footed. But the fact he can play a whole host of positions is always, of course, useful. A similarly versatile player, although not quite to the same extent, is Jordan Stevens. He has joined us from Verona over in Italy at 25 years old. He is a good little young Englishman who can play out on the right-hand side or out on the left. I see him being just a super versatile backup option for a free transfer. It's just really smart business, to be honest. The other player that we kind of brought in of real significance, I feel like, in the defensive half of the pitch, is Hayden Muller. I talked about needing a centre-back last episode. Quansah, sorry, mate, but you're just not as good. Hayden Muller joined us for £125,000, I think it was, from Birmingham City, which is not an insignificant sum of money, but you can see, just comparing him to Quansah, he is just a straight upgrade, a very, very good player, lots of pros, not too many cons, and at 23 years old, still a little bit of room to improve. Last year, he was playing, of course, in League One for Birmingham, didn't have the best of seasons, they didn't really give him too many opportunities. We are going to give him those chances. I think he has the quality to play at this level. Anyway, a couple of centre mids joined us on freebies too. The first is Hiram Boateng. He joins us as a centre mid who can play deep line playmaker primarily. Not the most mobile of centre mids, but a super well-rounded player who's got great mentals and, despite not being the quickest, has really well-rounded physicals as well, which is always nice for a player who may also need to slot in at box-to-box midfielder. But truth be told, if we need a box-to-box midfielder, here's our man, Teddy Jenks, formerly of Brighton. You can see he was on loan at Southend last year, who of course were promoted with us into League One. For them, he got 5 goals and 3 assists. For us, I think he's going to be a really good centre mid. A super mobile player with extremely good physicals, great pace, great acceleration, maybe lacking slightly in the technical departments. But as far as free transfers go, as far as athletic centre mids go, he really does tick all the boxes, and I think he may even start today's first game of the season, which is a little bit exciting. Anyway, let's talk about the Nottingham Forest players. The bulk of these are under the age of 20, which means I don't have to register them. With all 4 loanees, we're not having to pay any of their wages, which is nice. The first is Gabrielle Serry, who is a striker who can also play out on the left or out on the right. 22 years old. Good little striker, really the plan B if Sims doesn't hit the ground running this year. I did look at other striking options, but there weren't that many out there who were willing to join us. I don't know, I guess our reputation just isn't high enough to sign the kind of players that I would like to sign. Nevertheless, Gabriel here is very, very good. Super well-rounded, not quite as quick as Sims, but a good backup striker nevertheless. And, another player who's very, very good and will feature in the first team this year is Chris Willis. This guy has joined the club in on loan from Nottingham Forest and instantly become our key player. He's very, very good. Great mentals, very good speed, good vision, good technicals. He's just a really, really top quality player. I think this year for us, he's mostly going to play out on the wing just because his passing isn't quite good enough to perhaps play as the advanced playmaker down the middle. But the fact he can also play as a striker is always a nice bonus. And it's nice to do some business with our affiliates. As I said, I've had lots of affiliates in recent YouTube saves, but they've never really been that useful. Nottingham Forest, as you're seeing here, have some really useful players, the next of which is Felix Garcia. He can play left-back, he can play centre-back, not necessarily your typical wing-back, but he certainly can be a bit of coverage at left-back for us. Under the age of 20 means that we don't have to register him. I would anticipate he will get a little bit of first-team football this year, but as you may notice looking at the playing time, for all of these players in on loan, I've been pretty honest with Nottingham Forest and said, look, they're probably not going to play that much for us. Anyway, the last player we have is Doolin, who perhaps has the coolest of the names. Another Irish player. We've got lots of Irish players today that have joined the club. Let's hope that they're going to bring us a little bit of luck. This guy's a really good backup goalkeeper, though. It means that Desire Williams can go and play in the under-23s regularly. Doolin can be the second in command. And no wages paid, no expectations in terms of playing time. A really nice way to bulk out the squad without spending a whole lot of money. So anyway, if we look at the team going into the start of the season, this is how we line up. A little bit of a shake-up perhaps in a few areas, but it's not too crazily different to what you've come to know and love. Muller is going to be playing alongside Cabango. Of course, Muller signed for slightly cheaper than what we brought Cabango in for last year. If we just compare the two of them, you can see Cabango a little better in the air, a little bit mentally, a little better aerially perhaps. But Muller is a very good player with the ball at his feet, and I do feel like that is quite useful to have. Of course, Lopez at left back, Hughes at right back, coming in goal, nothing new going on there. Although Lopez today carrying a little bit of an injury, probably going to have to take him out the team. So we'll cover that in a second. Anyway, going into the centre mid positions, Green, of course, played at centre attacking mid. This year, we're going to try playing him a little deeper as a deep line playmaker on support. I think he suits this really well. I kind of wish his balance was a little bit better. But in terms of deep line playmakers at this level, he's more than up to the task. That then means that Cottrell will end up playing down the middle, which is his natural position, centre attacking mid. He's got great passing, great vision, good flair too. Actually, when you look at him as an advanced playmaker, besides his decisions and his anticipation, he is just a really, really good player. And then Willis, the new loanee, will go and play out on the right-hand side as an inside forward, which isn't really how he would like to play necessarily, but I feel like with how we set up our wing-backs, it is important that he does tuck in a little bit. Anyway, out on the left, Fitzpatrick holds down his spot in the squad. Nothing new going on there. He was the standout player last season. Excited to see how he gets on this year. Signed a new contract over the summer, so interest has been fended off. And of course, the other two players we've not talked about yet. Teddy Jenks today is going to start a box-to-box midfielder. I had such a good experience using this guy last year in FM20. I'm hoping he's going to live up to the expectations. He can, live up to how I remember him being. He's a really good player, though. Excited to have him in the team. And Sims, as I've already mentioned, holds down a spot up front. This is going to be a big step up for him. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for him. Let's hope he hits the ground running. I feel like with strikers, in any Football Manager save, they get off to a good start to the season, get a few goals early on, the confidence flows, and the goals flow as a result. If you fail to get those goals, sometimes it does go a little wrong. Anyway, just a little bit of club news. I talked about it previously, kind of a couple of episodes ago, about the takeover. You'll notice here in the 5-year plan, our owner is looking to sell the club. And, well, at least at the moment, there's rumours that a business tycoon could be interested in investing. Now, is it going to happen? It happened last year at Towlaw, but a lot of the time takeovers, if you've played Football Manager, you know this, takeovers get rumoured, they fall through, they get rumoured, they fall through. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens, to be honest. But there is a tycoon eyeing us up. I feel like I've built a sexy club. We're a bit of eye candy for billionaires now. Maybe one will invest in us. Otherwise, David. I'll take David. Find David. Wherever he went after he left Boston, we'll take him. But no, a little bit of kind of something to be aware of, but it's very much rumbling on in the background. We're not under kind of transfer embargo or anything like that right now. So yeah, don't get too excited, everyone, but it could happen. I kind of wish it had happened in the summer if it was going to happen, but that would have allowed me to spend some money. You can see we've still got £2.3 million transfer budget. Our available wage budget is still in a very good position. And if we look at the squad registration, we have got one spot in the squad and we're massively, massively below the salary cap in the league as well. So all in all, we're in quite a nice little position. In terms of the bench for today's game, we've got Quansah, Mo Addons. Yes, he's still around. I'm still bitter about that playoff final, but he is just a useful backup to have. We then got McGuane, who of course is the new player who joined us. He's almost done the reverse of Lopez, McGuane. He started at Arsenal, then went to Barcelona in 2017. Whereas if we look at Lopez, he started at Barcelona in 2017 and then went to Arsenal a year later. I choose to believe they were involved in some kind of swap deal, and now they've both made their way here by pure chance. Anyway, Boateng's on the bench, as is Charlie Carter, two very good centre mids for this level. We've then got Jordan Stevens, who is the new guy we signed from Serie A Verona. Interested to see if he can bring a bit of Italian flair to the team, perhaps. And then last but not least, he is still here. He may end up being our backup striker this year, Paul Glatzel. You know, Mark Cooper's gone. Glatzel was looking around thinking, am I next? No, Paul. I'm still keeping faith in you. Plus, no one's interested, at least in paying the kind of money that we got for Cooper. Apparently, Preston are interested. I've lied. There is a team interested. It's Preston, who also happen to be in this league. But anyway, that's enough of what's been going on over the summer. Not a whole host of new signings in the starting 11. 1 or 2 players. Very excited to see how Muller gets on. Delighted that Teddy Jenks joins us again. Willis out on the right should be fun. As I mentioned at the top, though, Lopez can't play today, which means I'm going to bring in McGuane, I think. And then we're going to bring in Felix Garcia to be the backup left-back on the bench. Now, logic speaking, I perhaps should play Felix Garcia at left-back here, considering he is left-footed. But I feel like McGuane here is just... he's fairly complete. Now, I'm not going to claim he's the perfect complete wing-back. But actually, as far as backups go, he ticks a lot of the boxes for a role that is very difficult to tick all the boxes of. We'll give him a go today, see how he gets on. Might be a bit at a disadvantage, given the fact he's going to be playing on the left, being right-footed. But no, I've got faith in him. Look, he can't be worse than Mo Addons. That's the standard that has been set. But anyway, let's get into this. Taking on Sunderland at home. This is the kind of game that I feel like you look forward to. When you enter League One, you expect to see, a few teams who have slipped down the Football League playing alongside you, offering some competition. Sunderland are definitely that. Of course, the board expectation this year is just to avoid relegation, although the media... they like us. They like us after our transfer business as well. I think we were something like 16th favourite at the beginning of the summer. But since then, we've climbed up into a spot where maybe we should be considering playoffs. But well, we can discuss playoffs all we want. We can discuss what the media are saying. We've got to do the talking on the pitch. Cabango clears it away. Now is Sandler. Green intercepts. Of course, Green going to be playing that deeper midfield role. Sims to Fitzpatrick. The man of the moment. The big man on campus. The head honcho. He puts it wide of the post. I've bigged him up too much there, haven't I? He was fans player of the season. He did win League 2 player of the season as well, Fitzpatrick. He's blooming good, which makes the fact that he's missed the target there even more surprising. Also, another little thing of note is that Grimsby Town are in the same league as us now. And if you don't know, Grimsby Town and Lincoln City, little bit of a rivalry going on there. They call Grimsby the Boston of the Coast. No one says that. I've made that up, okay? Anyway, it's half-time. I feel like I should be relatively happy with 0-0 against Sunderland. I feel like Sunderland are constantly a team knocking on the door, but of course, they've now been stuck in League One for 6 additional years in this save game. They've got to be pretty livid, their fans, that they've not been able to bounce back. Green, McGuane. I've bigged you up here, son. What can you do? Inside to Cottrell, playing down the middle, of course. Green. Have a go. Have a go. Have a go. Oh, okay, he's had a go. Collins has saved it. It feels a bit weird seeing our team shuffled around a little bit, It feels a bit weird seeing Cottrell down the middle and then, Green playing at centre mid rather than centre attacking mid. But of course, over the course of the year, we'll be shuffling things around. We've got lots of versatile players who can play a whole lot of positions. As Willis, he's had a shot that's deflected off the defender there. The shot from Green was even better. It hit the woodwork. I feel like if any team's going to score, it's going to be us right now. We're having chance after chance after chance as Cabango wins the near post header. You can see here, we've not had that much of the ball. When we've had it, we've been going forward with it. Smith with the ball in here to Hamilton. Do not foul him. Willis picks it up. The one kind of talismanic player we've managed to sign from Nottingham Forest. Teddy Jenks' tackle, but it goes to Sims, who tucks it into the bottom corner. Teddy Jenks, you won't be given the assist in the history books, but you can have it on me. Nice finish by Ellis Sims. Slips it into the bottom corner of the number 9. Nice counter here. Teddy Jenks picks up the ball, uses that pace he has to just run at the team. Slide tackle comes in from Sandler, and it falls, and Sims is the quickest to react. He uses that pace that he has, uses that composure that he kind of possesses, slots it into the bottom corner. Sunderland 0, Lincoln 1. Also, we're the home team. Like, I've butchered that. 20 minutes. 20 minutes to hold on here. Hughes has struggled a little bit at right back. I'm going to bring in Mo Addons at right back. What could go wrong? I will also say Marcus has not had the best of games, although I think that's just wing backs in general. I'm going to take off Willis. I'm going to move Cottrell out onto the right. And then I'm going to bring in Carter, but then move Callum Green into centre attacking mid. We're going back to what we played last year, everyone, and Teddy Jenks is just going to sit there. There is a small part of me that wants to bring on Paul Glatzel, but let's not do anything too hastily here. We'll make a double change. We've got a set piece. Cottrell stands over it, whips in. Cabango, free header, gets it in there. Benny boy, you big boy, doing what he does. We might not have Quansah anymore, but we've still got plenty of players with massive foreheads. Cottrell with the ball in. Got so many assists last year in League 2. I think there's a lot of question marks over whether or not our players can step up a level this year. I think if you were to look at this performance in isolation, at least so far, yeah, we probably can step up. Although, I say all that, Sam Smith has just scored an absolute banger to make it 2-1 with 5 minutes left. Remain calm. Remain calm. Could we have done more here? Who is 25-6 there? Who is it? It's Teddy. Of course it's Teddy Jenks. He goes walkies. Slater is free to whip in a ball wherever he wishes. And, he gets into the box and Sammy Smith hits it hard. Right, Mo Addams. Short throw. Cottrell penalty? That looked outside the area. I'm changing the penalty taker here. Who do I want to take the penalty? Teddy. Oh, you can't take penalties. No, not McGuane, Jack. Let's not be silly here. Whenever I've changed the penalty taker, it always ends badly. But there's still part of me that wants to do it. You know what? Teddy Jenks, on his debut. Why am I doing this? This never ends well. Do not do a Dylan Turnbull on us. Just don't do a Dylan Turnbull. That's all I ask. Teddy Jenks steps up, hits it. He's done just time waste. Time waste. We've got 3 minutes to hang on. If they now go up the other end and score, I will cry. Why is there another highlight? Why are we doing this, Football Manager? Cottrell, Addams, Carter. What can we do? Carter, chance, whips it along the line. Sims is almost there. It's hoofed out. And the highlight ends. Why are we doing this? Stop it. Why not another highlight? We don't need these. We don't need these. McGuane, Sims is offside. Yeah, I knew he was offside. Just stop celebrating, get back in position. You've got a minute left to hold on. Wasn't actually bad build-up play either, but he is stood 3 yards offside, just kind of having a conversation with the goalkeeper. It doesn't really work. Either way, it's going to finish 2-1. Teddy, you've let me down there, but overall, good performance. I think we can all say adequate performance. No, good performance. We've just beaten Sunderland, everyone. That's a good result as far as I'm concerned. And we looked relatively comfortable until we didn't. If we just look at the season preview here, you can see obviously we're in the playoff spots, everyone. Look at that. Season preview, we're up in 6th. Sunderland are apparently 5th favourites. We've just beaten them. Easy. Give us a real challenge. But no, things are looking pretty good. We made some good transfer moves. Unfortunately, we don't have any players, I don't think, in the Media Dream 11 because the Media Dream 11's really, really good. Just to give you an idea of the standard here, we've got Weghorst, who plays for Barnsley, who looks very, very good. There's also Worsfold, who also plays for Barnsley and looks very, very good. James Scott for Hull. There's some good players at this level. What I will say is, I have looked to sign some of them. Barnsley were asking for 31 million for Weghorst, which I don't have, so we won't be making that deal. But from a financial perspective, with all the sales we've done, we have got a little bit of money to flex. Still have a couple of squads free in the registration as well. If I was looking to improve the team still somewhere, I don't know what I'd add. Maybe another striker. Or maybe... I kind of look across the team, but it's not a small squad. I think that's the really important thing to remember. We've got a 25-man squad here. I think maybe a little bit of quality at centre mid. But then we have already brought in Boateng and Jenks, who I think aren't good for this level. Like, Boateng has played a lot at League 1 level. He's proven at this level. Got 5 assists and 3 goals in League 1 last year for Blackpool. And obviously, Teddy Jenks had a good spell at Southend last year in League 2, where he saw them get promoted and played the bulk of their matches. I don't know. Is there an area where you would look to strengthen? Obviously, the media back our team in terms of, you know, how we've performed thus far, and I'm pretty content with it on the whole, but obviously you can always look to continue to improve, and if a tycoon does take over, there will be a little more room than there was previously, hopefully, to continue to improve. But as I said, I'm not going to get too carried away with that just yet. If it starts to take shape, if it starts to really look like it could happen, I might then get excited, but for now, I'm just going to pretend it's not there, because if you have hope, then you get hurt. So if you're just going through life not being hopeful about anything, you can never feel pain. That is absolutely awful advice, but we'll end on it. Why not? Thank you for watching today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Let me know what you make of our transfer business. Not a big overhaul of the team, but I think Muller and Teddy Jenks are two really good players who are definitely adding a bit more quality to the team. Hopeful that we can push towards the playoffs. Great win against Sunderland. I'll catch you guys next time. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.